Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
In the heart of Cheshire's rolling countryside, where ancient oaks whisper tales of speed and steel, lies a circuit carved not by machines, but by myth. Oulton Park, a name that echoes through the annals of British motorsports, stands as a cathedral of courage where asphalt meets ambition and every corner demands reverence. This is the international layout unburdened by Britons, flowing like a sympathy of a velocity. From the sweeping arc of Old Hall to the plunging descent into Cascades, each section is a test of nerve and nuance. Island Bend beckons with deceptive grace, while Shell Oil's corner, a deep cambered bowl, grips the soul of every driver who dares its embrace. Knickerbrook, raw and unforgiving, waits like a coiled serpent, and Druids rises with quiet menace, a final trial before the charge to lodge. Here the circuit doesn't just challenge, it convenes. It speaks in the language of throttle and tire, of bravery measured in tenths and triumphs etched in rubber. Oulton Park is not merely a track, it's a proving ground for legends, a place where the roar of engines becomes poetry, and where every lap writes a new stanza in the epic of speed. Welcome in. This is Week 7, 2025, Season 4, iRacing Production Car Challenge. I am, as usual, Rob Campbell, bringing you the top split action here, the weekly SOF race. And friends, unfortunately, our time is going to come to an end here covering the SOF broadcasts of the Production Car Challenge. Way back when I started this a couple seasons ago, I approached SimLab about pitching in and helping cover the costs and getting the promotion out here for the SimLab Production Car Challenge. I approached them a couple times. None of those times I heard back from SimLab at all. They showed no interest in helping out and supporting the series and getting it out there to racers. So I said to myself, I'll keep doing it until a league comes along that wants that time slot. And then unfortunately, PCC will have to go by the wayside. And unfortunately, friends, that time has come. So this is it. This is what we're going to end it up here for the foreseeable future. It's not to say we won't be back at some point in time. But as it stands right now, this will be the final PCC SOF top split broadcast. And what a track to send it out with. Free track on the service and newly redone this season 2 as well. So tons of fun coming our way. We've got 4 classes on track. Even the Clio's represented here this evening with 3 drivers. So excellent stuff to see as we're on board here with DJ Alessandrini. Qualifying just getting underway. Most of our drivers on their out laps, yet to put in a lap time. So let's take a look at the weather conditions we have here this evening. 64 degree Fahrenheit air temps, 18 degrees Celsius, 72 degree Fahrenheit track temps with 22 degrees Celsius. So rather cool day, should allow for plenty of grip for our drivers out here on track. Again, waiting for some laps to come in. Cloudy conditions, no sign of rain in the forecast. 81% humidity, but that shouldn't bother our drivers too much. And then, as usual, the format for this evening. This is week 7 of 12. As mentioned, we're at Oulton Park. 25-minute sprint as per usual. And again, next week's track, I'm not even sure what it is because we won't be here, but still another 5 weeks left in the season after this one. Plenty of action and attempts for our drivers to get themselves up in the championship contendings. So we've got some times coming in here on the BMW side. Kevin Parrish, perennial driver we see in week out, up top, but as I say that, DJ Alessandrini going to take top spot away from him. DJ 8/10 ahead of Kevin Parrish right now. We've got a couple of our Toyota drivers in with Isfan Serpez topping the Toyota field just ahead of Ian Burgesson by just under 1 second. Only one lap in on the Mazda side right now. Ismail Ublal leading the way, 147.644. Virtually identical lap times as our top GRD6 right now. So this track is going to be a real interesting one between the Mazdas and the Toyotas. I think they're going to be interlocked all throughout this one. There's not going to be much room for any of these drivers to really try and get away from each other. As we hop on board here with Ismail, one of the Box 5 representatives. Currently comfortably up ahead of Mike Oswalt, 1.1 seconds separating the top two drivers in Mazda right now. We've got Michael Folds, driver we see week in, week out in the Mazdas. Nicholas Shepard's back. We haven't seen him for a couple weeks. Lincoln Fox, he's here every week. Kyle Gentz, we usually see him every other week or so. He's back again on the Mazda side. Over on the BMWs, as I mentioned, Kevin Parrish is here. Taylor Blount, we see him week in, week out. See some of the Mazda Toyota drivers. Martin Rivera, we saw him last week as well, battling up towards the front. Not really seeing a whole lot of the Toyota drivers that we see week in, week out. A whole new crop of drivers, looks like, for the most part this week in the Toyota side of things. As Julian Zapata getting himself up into second place, still 8/10 back of top driver in Toyota, Serpez. So we'll see if Zapata has a little more pace left in that car. As usual, Gabriel and Selmy out representing the Clio field. Today he's got a couple of their drivers though. Gaston Santarelli out in the Clio, and one other driver, Steven Smith, on track too as well. So we'll see if Gabriel has to work for his win this week, as usually it's only him fending off one other driver. So it looks like the majority of our BMW drivers have finished up their qualifying run. Just waiting for a couple more Mazdas to come in. Michael Folds got himself up into third spot. He's going to knock a couple drivers down. Nicholas Shepard up into third. Thomas Arevalo on board with him, currently sitting in fourth place. Only 3/10 back of our pole sitter in Mazda, Ismail Ublal. Let's take a look here on the Toyota GRD6 side of things. Martin Rivera got himself up into third place with a 148.39 last time by. We've got just over a minute left to go in qualifying as we're coming up to the 7-minute mark here. Gregorio Moreno, saw him battling in the Mazda last week. Looks like he's got a nice Halloween-themed paint job on that MAV Motorsports machine. Mike Oswalt currently sitting 7th in class. Andres Navarro always driving the Diet Coke liveried machine. See him back again this week. Alex Ribeiro still on track. So he's got like a bit of a Rexy-esque Halloween theme on that car too as well. Nice to see a lot of the Halloween themes there this evening. The driver's getting into the spirit of Halloween. Julian Zapata, who was topping the Toyota class at one point in time, has fallen down to third. Fortunately for him, I don't think he's going to have enough time to finish up this lap with only about 12 seconds left to go, and he is deep on the backside of the track as he heads into Hislops now and Knickerbrook. So that's going to pretty much do it. Let's drop down the qualifying results here, and then we'll take a look as things go official here in a matter of moments. Okay, the grid is set. let's have a look at how they are going to start here. DJ Alessandrini takes top spot in the BMW class. Kevin Parrish to his outside. Taylor Blount and Travis Petrie going to start in third and fourth. Sky Shundelmir and Luis Garcia Acosta going to start in the third row. In fifth and sixth with Jeffrey Cook and Seb Marchand in seventh and eighth. Rafael Bonaventura in ninth. Martin Almendras in 10th. And rounding out the BMW field is going to be Mohammed Arif. And then we're going to go back to the Renault Clios, where Gabriel Anselmi taking top spot over Gaston Santarelli and Steven Smith. In Toyota, we're going to find Esteban Serpez topping that class with Napsugar Zankane. Man, I apologize for that one. Julian Zapata in third with Martin Rivera in fourth place. Fifth goes to Ian Burgesson and Jordan Michael in sixth place, representing the Isle of Man. Seventh place goes to Lorgan Sennhauser, Alex Ribeiro in eighth, with Michael Check and Ian Baker occupying 9th and 10th. 11th and 12th goes to Juan Colinu and Cole Hooper, rounding out the Toyota GR86 field. Ian Mazda's Ismail Ublau going to take top spot over Michael Folds, Nicholas Shepard, and Thomas Aravalo. Fifth place goes to Charles Wolf, Andre Navarro's in seventh, Gregorio Moreno in Andres Navarro's in 6th, Gregorio Moreno in 7th, Tony Wallace in 8th, Mike Oswalt in 9th, and Zach Blaze going to round out the field here with no laps from Lincoln Fox, Kyle Gens, and Michael Coates. They're going to start tail on the field here this evening. So there we go. We have 39 cars in session here. Basically a full grid. I believe it maxes out at 40 cars. So essentially that's where we're at here. So again, thank you to everyone who's tuned in over the past few seasons, catching top split action here. We appreciate it. We've had a lot of great racing. It always seems to produce a ton of tight results, and it's never really one class or the other. We've seen tight finishes in the BMWs. We've seen tight finishes in Mazda, Toyota. Unfortunately, not the tightest finishes in Clio, as we generally tend to only have a couple of Clios as they run a SOF race on another night. So, but we appreciate them showing up. Alessandrini and Parrish going to lead the field away here behind the pace car. Again, 25 minutes of action. No need for tires or fuel here. Our drivers should have enough fuel load on board to get them to the end. They do have one quick repair if something were to happen, where they can pop in and use that quick repair as short pace laps. So beautiful stuff. Thank you, iRacing, for that. And through the final corner we go. Alessandrini leading the way. We're about to pick up the green. There it is. Green is flashing, waving, whatever you want to call it. And we're off. Alessandrini gets a good jump into turn one. Parrish gonna have to defend off Blount early on. Blount and Petrie going side by side. A couple drivers going way out wide in the back. But it looks like so far everybody going to get off to a good start here. Let's pop back into the Clios as they are away, and Selmy getting a big jump on his other two cars. Sankme in the GR86's nice jump over Serpez, and Rivera as they're off and running back into the Mazdas. We've got herd of angry B Mazda drivers coming at us. Ismail Ublau going to hold on to his top spot. Thomas Aravalo already up 2 positions into second place, just ahead of Nicholas Shepard and Michael Folds. We've got a couple cars off in the back. Looks like Lincoln Fox and Zach Bless already off in turn 3. Take a quick look at what happened there in a few moments, but that's going to put a damper in Lincoln Fox's opportunity out here this evening. Already Alessandrini opening up a huge gap up front, 1.2 seconds early on over Kevin Parrish. So let's take a quick look here at what happened to Lincoln Fox and Zach Bless to kick things off here, as they're going to go door to door into turn 3. Bless on the inside. Oh, looks like Bless just got up on the grass when he hit the brakes. Got the car squarely and into Lincoln Fox he went. So unfortunately not much you can do there. Keep an eye on Bless. Yeah, just got a tiny little tire drop onto the grass, and that's all it took to get him squarely and off into Lincoln Fox. So Didn't look like major damage for any of those drivers to be able to continue on. Alessandrini, though, huge lead already. So we go a little farther back. Taylor Blount battling right now with Kyle Schundelmeyer. That is a battle for 4th place. Blount holding on to that position. Schundelmeyer trying to take it away. Blount down 1 spot from where he qualified as Travis Petrie's got around him early on. We've got some moving going on a little farther back too as well. It looks like a couple of drivers around again. The back straight looks like Tony Wallace out of this one. Another couple drivers coming into the pits. Looks like Oswald and possibly Almendras in. So another few drivers out early on in this one. We'll see if we can pick up what happened there in a few moments. Looks like out of the final corner just before the start finish line. Got a bit of a calamity. Off of the Toyota side of things, Zonkne still holding on to top spot over Serpis and Rivera. Those 3 cars starting to break away over Julian Zapata, who was our early pole sitter in the class. Right now he's fallen down 1 spot. Martin Rivera has moved around him. Zapata down to 4th. He has Ian Burgesson in tow though. Let's see if those 2 drivers could try and work together and get themselves back up towards the sharp end of the Toyota field. In Mazda, Thomas Aravello, he's got himself up front, but as I say that, Nicholas Shepard going to move to the inside. That's going to cycle Aravello back into 2nd place. Michael Folds right there in 3rd. Charles Wolf has moved himself up into 4th place. Strong start for Charles Wolf. It looks like our pole sitter in Mazda, Ublal, has fallen back. To see if we can find out what happened to him, but he has fallen all the way back to 6th place in class. Right now he's got Juan Colliong up ahead, the GR86 driver. And he's got Michael Coates right in behind him too as well. Coates, the driver we're usually used to seeing at the sharp end of the Mazda field. So we'll see if maybe Ublal and Coates can work together to get themselves back up towards the front of the Mazda pack. Right now, Nicholas Shepard occupying top spot in that class. As now Michael Folds has moved himself up into 2nd. That's going to cycle Aravello back into 3rd place now. We can't let off the gas though, because Charles Wolf in the MAV Motorsports machine right in there as it's a little argy-bargy between Folds and Aravello up ahead. It's like Folds might have dropped a tire or 2 off in the grass, had to check up, and Aravello was right there. Looks like Aravello with a little bit of damage on the left front. Not sure exactly who he might have got that from, but let's take another look here at where Michael Folds went off track just in front of Aravello. So coming out of turn 1, you see Folds going to get way off track there. Had to collect it up, but I think that's where he got into Aravello and got that little bit of damage on the right front of Aravello, so it shouldn't affect him too much. Oulton Park, not really a aero-dependent track. You're not reaching very high speeds around here, where a little bit of aero damage shouldn't hamper you too much. But Taylor Blount back up into 3rd place where he qualified. He and Sky Schundelmeyer moved around Travis Petrie. Petrie now down to 5th place and in danger here from Luis Garcia Acosta, who's going to move around the outside. Looks like Jeffrey Cook going to try and go around Petrie too as well. So Petrie bleeding positions here. Looks like he'll try and get gathered back in. Oh, he gets into the back of Acosta as he moves around. They're going to get bargy in through turn 1. Open up the doors, slapping the doors into each other as they're hanging wide around the corners into turn 3. Acosta is going to get back up front of this pack. Jeffrey Cook in there behind him. Petrie going to cycle back into 7th place, 3rd in this trio of cars. They've got Seb Marchand not too far back. Marchand trying to get up in that party now. Be a part of that party for 5th place. While they battle it out, that's allowed Blount and Schundelmeyer to pull away up ahead of them. Speaking of pulling away, DJ Alessandrini has that gap still steady at about 1.8 seconds over Kevin Parrish. He had it up to about 2.4 seconds at one point in time, but Parrish starting to reel him back in. See if he can continue to do so, or if DJ starts to pull that gap back out again. In the Toyota side of things, Serpes got himself back up into 2nd place, following close in Zonkne's shadow now, as they've dropped Cole Hooper off the tail end. Cooper up 9 spots, so nice start to the race for Cole Hooper. 9 spots in class, 12 spots overall into final step on the podium in the GRMA 86 class. So nice run by Cole Hooper. We'll see if he's able to hold off Martin Rivera and Ian Burgesson in behind, are starting to make a charge, but I mentioned Seb Marchand trying to catch that trio up ahead in BMW. Looks like something happened to him here moments ago. So pick up Marchand heading through the corner. Oh, he just gets up on the curb. He's going to lose the back end hard into the wall. That's going to be potentially a race ending for Marchand. Heavy hit. Back to the Mazdas though. We got Nicholas Shepard, Michael Folds battling it out as they're making their way around the 5th place GR86 car of Ian Burson. Aravello able to get by 2 as well. So that trio, oh, I spoke too soon. Aravello, I thought he was going to get by, but then he got a little fender rub in from Ian Burson. He's making that pass. It's going to compromise Aravello's top speed. He's going to fall back a little bit from Folds and Shepard. He's really have to put his head down here and start plugging forward, try and chase them back in as Charles Wolfe now sensing a little bit of blood in the water here. As they both go off out of turn 1, gets squirrely. They both had to collect it up. I thought potentially that was going to be Wolfe's opportunity to make the move around Aravello, but both drivers went off track. Both drivers got squirrely, and thankfully both drivers able to continue on. Spot back here to our pole sitter in Mazda, Ismail Ublal, who's fallen down to 6th place in class. Still has Michael Coates in tow. They've been unsuccessful so far of catching up to Wolfe, Aravello up ahead, and potentially getting into that battle for 3rd and 4th. We'll see if they continue to trudge forward. Just up ahead of them, though, there's a battle for 5th and 6th place in GR86 that they're going to have to try and get around if they want to get up to Wolfe and Aravello, who are just ahead of this battle. It's Ian Baker against Ian Burgess, the battle of the Ians. Right now, Baker leading the way in 5th place. Burgess trying to find a way around, but they've got Thomas Aravello up ahead. On the quick sections, that's where the Mazdas are going to be a little quicker. They have a little more top speed, but in the twisty stuff, that tiny little bit of extra downforce that GR86s have with that wing on the back end and a little softer suspension, a little wider car, and these slightly wider tires, they're able to move through the corners a little quicker than the Mazdas, but then the Mazdas pull away in the straight. So it's always an ebb and flow between these classes. Some tracks you see a whole lot of overlap, and it really comes into play the multi-class between the 3 classes. We head back up front as Michael Foltz has gotten himself around Nicholas Shepard for top spot in Mazda. We'll see now if Foltz is able to open up a bit of a gap over Shepard or not. Both of them still nose to tail as they're right in behind our 4th place Toyota of Martin Rivera. Rivera, one of the few drivers still driving around the spot they qualified in. Tight battle in Toyota. Our leader, Zalkne, actually moving in underneath Seb Marchand, our BMW driver we saw spin out into the wall not long ago. So he gets by him, and then Marchand going to scoot right back by here now. Top speed of the BMW coming into play there, but Serpez not allowing Zalkne to get out too far ahead. He's got Hooper and Rivera in tow too as well. So top 4 in the Toyota class right there battling it out. You throw a blanket over them. At this point in time, looks like Rivera might be holding up. Fold, Shepard, and Aravello. And it looks like Aravello and Wolfe now right in that battle. The MAV Motorsports driver of Wolfe pushing, egging Aravello forward to try and catch up with their 2 leaders in Mazda. Off in the BMW class, we jump on board here with Jeffrey Cook. Cook just ahead of Luis Garcia Acosta. Starting to open up that gap now over Acosta. Schundelmeyer and Ballant well down the track now. And they have a decent bit of separation between them. 1.7 seconds between 3rd place Ballant and Schundelmeyer. Alessandrini continues to open up that gap up front over Kevin Parrish. That gap now 3.5 seconds between Alessandrini and Parrish. Parrish with a comfortable 2.5 over Ballant. So things get, as I say that, he's going to drop a couple tires off in the grass. It's going to cost him about 2 or 3 tenths. We're still having a comfortable 2.3 seconds or so over Ballant. Parrish on a bit of a Monday evening drive right now in the outskirts of Cheshire. Let's go back a little bit farther in the Mazda class. Check on our battle here between Oulton and Coates. They haven't made a whole lot of progress here. Still working nose to tail. They're not really forcing the issue with one another, trying to work their way through the field. They're catching up on the back of the Clio field now as they have Gaston Santarelli. They're going to move around him, and that's going to keep them on pace with Burgesson up ahead. Andres Navarro not too far ahead of these two now. Oh, we've got something happen up front onto the mic. It's like Michael Folds might have got wrapped up in something here. Let's take a look. Our Mazda leader comes into this one. He's just ahead of Martin Rivera. Oh, it's like Rivera tried to dive up underneath him into Hislop, gets into the back, spins him around. That's going to cost Folds a number of spots. There goes Navarro. There comes Oulton and Coates. See if we can get another angle of that potentially. Let's see if we can get a chopper cam of what happened there to between Michael Folds and I believe that's Martin Rivera, if I'm not wrong here. So Folds the lead car. Yeah, there's just ill-advised move by that GR86. Gets into the right corner of the Mazda and around it goes. Oof, we hop back on board here with Andres Navarro. He's going to drop a couple tires into the grass, get a little squirrely, excuse me. He's now up into third place by virtue of that incident between Folds and the GR86. So we'll see now if Navarro can start to reel in Thomas Aravello, who's less than a second up ahead. Only about 7/10 separate Navarro and Aravello, as Nicholas Shepard now only almost 3 seconds up ahead, starting to pull away without any real battle going on for him. I suspect Shepard will be able to just keep his eyes forward, won't really have to worry much about the drivers in behind him here, continue to push forward. Let's go back to the GR86 battle at top spot between Zonknoy and Hooper. Zonknoy holding off the pass attempt from Hooper. Serpez right there too as well. These three cars still nose to tail. They've dropped Rivera a little bit off the back as he had that contact with Folds and now has the Mazda of Shepard in between them. So we'll see how much battling these three drivers have in store. Serpez falling back a little bit from that battle as Hooper and Zonknoy work together to try and open up that gap. Hooper going to utilize the draft as they head into Lodge Corner. One more bend to go and then they'll head down the start finish straight here to finish up another lap, and that'll put us at approximately the 15-minute mark with about 10 minutes to go in this. Oh, a little bit of contact between Hooper and Zonknoy into the front straight. Zonknoy going to go off wide. That's going to allow Serpez to get around both those drivers and up into top spot. Hooper's going to fall to third now with Zonknoy holding on to second spot. So we gotta go on board here with Hooper. He's got the best seat in the house to watch this battle up ahead. Zonknoy going to move to the inside, in around Serpez, take top spot back. Ooh, Hooper almost getting into the grass under braking there. We saw what happened early on between Lincoln Fox, and I'm trying to remember who that other driver was early on into turn 2. We're just dropping a couple tires into the grass and around they went. They're going to continue on. We got another battle a little farther back here as we pick up Juan Kalong. He's battling Michael Check just up ahead of him. That's a battle for 27th place overall, which translates into 8th and 9th class. Sounds like we might have had something going on here between Stephen Smith here. Let's see what happened to him. Smith, one of our lone Clios. Let's get Mazda come up. Oh! Not sure which Mazda that was. He's got right into the rear of him. And it looks like it might have been a incident limit for Stephen Smith as he blinked out at that point in time, which generally indicates a disqualification from incident point. So we'll keep an eye on that. But sometimes things like that happen when you have 4 classes of cars on track that are very similar paced in certain areas of the track. Back on board here with second place Mazda, Andres Navarro. Aravello, Folds, Wolf in behind, battling it out. In behind them, we've got Zapata and Serpez battling it in the GR86 field. So, ton of overlap here amongst our classes. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but we see it week in, week out with the Toyotas and the Mazdas. The sharp end of the Mazdas always seem to find themselves up and around the mid to sharp end of the Toyotas. So we're on board here with Zapata. He's got Michael Coates in tow. Wolf was able to get around Zapata. Coates not so lucky. Aravello going wide. He's had to collect it up. That's going to allow Wolf to look up his inside. It's going to move Charles Wolf up into fourth. He has third place Michael Folds just ahead of him now. As we take a look back here from Michael Folds, Charles Wolf in tow. Wolf not going to try and dive up on the inside. This is the corner where we saw Rivera in the GR86 get into the back of Folds. So I suspect Michael Folds probably mirror watching, hoping that wasn't going to happen again. Charles Wolf, a highly skilled driver, knows when to make that opportune move and when not to. And that was one of those when not to moves. While they continue to battle in behind, that's allowed Nicholas Shepard to open up a huge gap now in Mazda class with 5 seconds over second place Andre Navarro. And with them battling in behind, he's just going to be able to continue to work himself forward. He's got himself comfortably in between second and third place in the GR86s as well. He's going to be utilizing that draft off those two cars up ahead of him. Up top, though, DJ Alessandrini at this point in time, it's never been in question. He's led it from the wave of the green flag, now opening up 6.4 seconds over second place Kevin Parrish. Parrish still sitting comfortable over Taylor Ballant, but that gap's starting to come down now. 1.6 seconds now between Ballant and Parrish. We've seen these two battle a number of weeks from this season to last season. They always seem to find each other on track. Taylor Ballant hasn't had the most successful last couple races. Was able to take advantage of some real carnage we had in Portland last week. We had a number of drivers wrecking out in BMW. At one point in time, I think there was about 2 or 3 laps in a row where all of our top 4 were off track, spinning. It was a heck of a race. We even had some intentional wrecking when everything was said and done. So Ballant continues to reel in Parrish. The gap kind of heading steady though, or holding steady at about 1.5 seconds now. The Parrish has found a little bit of clean air. He's been able to stabilize that gap. We'll see if Ballant able to reel him back in with 5 minutes to go. They're running 1 minute 42-ish, 41-ish laps. So that's going to give them maybe 3 more laps, depending when DJ Alessandrini crosses the line. Looks like our pole sitter in Mazda, Ismail Ublal, had a bit of an off-track excursion here as he's fallen way back in through turn 1, gets up on the curb. He's going to run way out wide. So not the race Ublal was probably envisioning when he sat the car up on pole to start this one. Battle for second place in Mazda though, Michael Folds and Charles Wolf. Wolf got himself up 2 spots from where he qualified. Michael Folds back to where he qualified in class. He's been up and down. Ooh, gets a little squirrely through turn 1. See now if Charles Wolf able to take advantage of that as they head now down into Cascades. Wolf gonna hold tight, not looking to make the move here yet. Try and set it up. We'll see if he makes a move into Shell Oil Corners. We got, looks like Martin Rivera and the GR86 off in the grass in the background. See if we can catch a look at what happened there in a matter of moments. Nicholas Shepard might have got involved in that potentially, our top Mazda driver. So I'm seeing an off track for Shepard, off track for Rivera at the same time. So let's see what happened to our leader in Mazda, who was just ahead of Rivera. A little bit of damage on the right front quarter of Shepard's car, but Shepard's going to go out wide. Oh, and Rivera actually, it almost looked like a sympathy off track there for Martin Rivera, trying to avoid Nicholas Shepard. Let's see what happened here. He's going to get out wide. That GR86 kind of pogos up over the curbs. Ooh, heavy hit into the wall for Martin Rivera. So not as fortunate as Nicholas Shepard was to get that car gathered back up and on track. But The battle for second place in class right now is Michael Folds and Charles Wolf. Wolf is right there in tow as they head into Lodge Corner. See who gets a better run through the corner here. Looks like Wolf closed a 10th or 2 through there. Across the line, they're going to have 2 to go. Clock the nemesis now for Charles Wolf to get himself up into second place. We'll keep an eye on that. Looks like things have calmed down for 4th, 5th, and 6th in class for Mazda, where Aravello now has 2.3 seconds over Kyle Gentz. Gentz, nice run for him. Didn't qualify, started at the back, up 7 spots for him into 5th place. Michael Coates not too far back. Coates up 7 spots too as well. So 2 of our drivers have started on the tail of the field as well as their class, working their way through. Potential nice top 5 and 6 finishes for those drivers. So back on board here with Schundelmeyer. He's got Kevin Parrish in behind him. Oh, something happened to Kevin Parrish. Let's take a look here and see what happened to Parrish that's dropped him out of second place. So he's moving around the Clio. Tries to go around Auburn Kyle up on the grass. He manages to make it through there. So that wasn't what cost him time. Let's see here. Oh no, Michael Coates. Coates came back on track and just tagged Parrish. Oh man, that was not what Kevin Parrish was hoping to see. So let's see, did Coates get a little help here? No, he just ran wide through there, turned in, and unfortunately there goes Kevin Parrish at the same time. Coates able to continue on, but Parrish is going to fall to 4th place. It's unfortunate for him. 1 minute to go. DJ Alessandrini, he has crossed the line. He's now on his final lap, comfortably out front now, 11 seconds over Taylor Blount. Barring any catastrophic incidents here, DJ should be able to bring home the win wire to wire. But now Parrish battling with Schundelmeyer. Schundelmeyer just up ahead. Parrish down 2 spots, was in second place before that incident. See if he's able to chase down Schundelmeyer. The clock going to be his enemy though. Right now sitting about 6/10 back of Schundelmeyer. Check back in on the battle for second place in Mazda's Fold. Still holding on to that spot. Wolf falling back a little bit. They got second place BMW driver Taylor Blount just up ahead of him. So Michael Folds getting a little bit of draft off the back of that BMW. That's going to help him stay ahead of Charles Wolf right now. Andre Navarro trying to chase down Michael Coates. Navarro, bit of an incident for him too as well. He's fallen back to 7th place. So some of our drivers having races they probably wished went a little differently for them, but one driver not wishing such. DJ Alessandrini, 2 more corners to go here for Alessandrini. He's going to take the win on the final SOF race in PCC here, broadcasted on Racers Nexus. So congratulations to GJ taking it wire to wire. As he's going to cross the line, the battle for top spot in GR86 is not too far behind him. As Naps Sugar Zonknoy going to hold on to top spot over Cole Hooper. 2 seconds just up ahead of them. Taylor Blount right in behind. He's going to take second place in class. Nicholas Shepard, he's going to cross the line, take top spot in Mazda. Like Michael Folds over Charles Wolf holds him off. Ian Baker and Zapata across the line. Aravello, Coates blowing the engine. Oh, he blows the engine and takes out the BMW of, I think that might have been Bonaventure at the line. No, Bonaventure there. That was Petrie he took out, I believe. Just wait for a couple more of our GR86s a little farther back to cross. There comes Zach Bless. Gregorio Moreno, Mav Motorsports driver with some spooky Halloween paint on his car. Love to see it. Mike Oswald, Ismail Ubal, our pole sitter in Mazda, falling all the way back to 11th place in class. Tough outcome for Ubal. 6,000 I rating. No doubt he'll be back again battling top of the class. In behind him, Alex Ribeiro. That's our 9th place GR86 heading to the line as well. And then in behind them, Ian Burgesson would be the final car on the lead lap. And once he crosses the line, that should make everything official here this evening. So again, thank you for everyone that's been tuning in for the Top Split SOF content here week in, week out. It's not a forever. We may be back at some point in time. You never know how things work out. But as it is for now, this will be bye. And again, we thank you so much. But that's going to make everything official. Let's take a look at the official results here for this one. As you see, DJ Alessandrini going to take top spot ahead of Taylor Ballant. Kevin Parrish gets himself back to 3rd place, getting around Schundelmeyer on the last lap. Jeffrey Cook in 5th. Luis Garcia Acosta in 6th place with Travis Petrie in 7th. Rafael Boventura in 8th. Seb Marchand in 9th. And Martin Almendras in 14th, rounding out the BMW field. Gabriel Anselmi takes top spot in Clio. Napsugar Zonknoy in top spot in GR86 with Cole Hooper in 2nd. Ian Baker and Julian Zapata round out the first page of GR86 drivers. Nicholas Shepard takes top spot in Mazda ahead of Michael Folds and Charles Wolfe. Thomas Aravello and Kyle Gansk round out the top 5 in Mazda and our first page of results. 21st goes to Michael Coates, Andres Navarro, 22nd overall, Gaston Santarelli in 23rd, 2nd in class in Clio. Logan Sennheiser rounds out the top 5 in GR86. Juan Kalong in 25th, Michael Check, Estevan Serpez, 26th, 27th, Zach Blaze in 28th with Gregorio Moreno in 29th. Mike Oswalt comes home 30th overall. Ismail Ublal falling to 31st and 11th in class, our pole sitter in Mazda. Alex Ribeiro in 32nd, 33rd to Ian Burgesson, Tony Wallace, Mohammed Arif out early on in the BMW in 35th, Martin Rivera 36th, Stephen Smith, Jordan Michael, Lincoln Fox round out your 39 car field here in Production Car Challenge. So again, thank you to everyone who's tuned in throughout the weeks. We appreciate it. For Racers Nexus, I'm Rob Campbell. This was brought to you by TrackCams 22, as well as Apex Sim Racing. You can find yourself a 5% discount code in the description. Use that to pick up button boxes, wheels, wheelbases, sim rig chassis, seats. They even sell PCs. Basically anything you need to get going sim racing, they have for you. And TrackCams 22, the provider of our cams for this evening. Excellent stuff, and we appreciate all the work they do and put into giving us excellent camera shots week in, week out. So again, thank you. You can catch us later this week. Tomorrow night we'll have GT3 action with the Throttle Freaks League. Wednesday night we'll have Tobacco Road Sim Racing, Oval Racing at Bristol. It should be action-packed. Later on this weekend we'll have ARCA Racing and Truck Racing 2 as well. And then next week on Monday kicks off Pro 2 Dirt Racing on Monday evenings. If you're a fan of that, should be a blast. We'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.